Oh boy. Right. Give me a moment to figure out cameras and sounds and stuff. It's one fun thing about YouTube is it's hard to change anything once you go live. And it picked a camera that just is ultimately shiny. So we'll turn on a light instead, and it's even more shiny. We'll just have to deal with the shiny. How's everyone doing? It's been a difficult solstice as we head into the winter solstice. There have been a lot of cosmic energies coming out to greet us, and parts of ourselves that we've just been kind of putting on the shelf, as we typically do in most holiday seasons. So I thought I would come on here today, as I typically do around this time of the year, and bring forth some collective messages from my favorite, the Holy Family. So we have Jesus, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Anna, grandmother of Jesus. And this is a family that I've been channeling on here since 2015. And it's been an interesting holiday. It's been an interesting ride, energetically speaking, this time of the year for most people. Where are you guys tuning in from live? Let's see who we got here today. We have Catherine from Scotland, Will in Mexico, Heather in California, Misty in Wisconsin, Robin in Florida, Barbara in California, Jenny in Sweden, JJ in Wichita, Kira in the UK, Gaya in Florida, West Palm Beach, Patrine in Surrey, British Columbia, Harmony in Washington State, Heather in England, Yasha in Nevada, Ramon in Gibraltar. Wow, that's cool. April, Mississippi. Yeah. Hi, Anne from Cape Town. Farzad in Iran. How are you? How are you? I'd like to send so much love to everyone in your area right now. Just massive surge of love to you. Monica in Minnesota. Let's see, we have San Antonio, Spokane, Austin, Raleigh, Illinois, Israel. Love to you too right now. So sending so much love, Israel. So much love. All the light from the Holy Family. My heart to yours. Dublin, Heidi from Peru, Jersey, yep, France, Kentucky, lovely. Australia, 3:38 a.m. Go back to bed. Florida again, Germany. Hi, Lauren. Yeah. How's everyone doing this solstice? Calgary, Alberta. Super. Canadians are so nice. Carolina. What this channeling is about, we're going to give some collective messages for those of you listening today For anyone who's struggling through this, just pay deep attention because it would be easy to get distracted and pulled into pain this time of the year as we go through the solstice and kind of, Lauren says, I've been like a puffer fish. Yeah, and it would be easy for us to do that, to puff out and kind of just get very reactive. I know I have felt that as well, like certain themes coming up, and I brought them up to the Holy Family this morning. And the themes that I'm noticing is kind of this feeling of you have faith and there's a big light in the grace of faith that's coming through in your life, and then suddenly one tiny little thing comes in and puts like a bushel over that light. One tiny little thing happens, and then you begin to question um, faith, and you begin to question your reasons for faith, and you begin to question if it is practical to have faith, if it even makes sense in certain circumstances to have faith. All of those sort of things will be coming up right now. And it is a challenging solstice because it's making you, again, we talked about the 12-12 portal last week and that energy of mastering something and then moving forward out of something painful, particularly fear. A lot of people are struggling with fear. And then you get like this surge of light and grace, hope, the charisma of faith lighting you up, and then it feels like it's just like that light is just stomped out in an instant, and you're down on your knees in pain, down on your knees in shame and fear. And what the heck am I doing? Why am I doing this? And maybe I should just quit everything that I've been doing, like that whole energy of maybe I should just stop everything. That energy is making for an incredibly painful solstice. So I'm glad that for those of you that are able to meet live today can kind of come talk to the Holy Family about this and be thinking about what questions you have about what's going on and how you are individually and uniquely handling these energies, these back forth, 2 steps forward, 1 steps back, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, 4 steps forward, 3 steps back. It's like climbing a ladder, but the ladder is straight up. There's no give. There's no give in the energies, in the cosmic energies of this solstice. So no, it's someone in chat said, I thought it was only me. It's not only you. Since December the 12th, there has been this up-down energy, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, this up-down energy of a lot of progress and then a step back, and a lot of progress and something bumps you back down again. And it's humbling, but there's something that this Holy Family has always been so gracious to teach me and to remind me is that humility is not the same as humiliation. Remember that when you feel this way, when you feel really discouraged, try to remember humility is not the same as humiliation. Don't let anything pull the rug out from underneath you. Remember that you're beautiful, that you're holy. Remember that. Remember your grace and ask for a divine revelation and a return to the grace that you are. Remember, spiritual inquiry via invocations and questions are going to be very important. The use of ritual invocation and inquiry is always very important, but right now it's more so than usual. So this energy of tremendous progress and then a massive step back, tremendous progress and another massive step back, when that ladder feels like it's going straight up, again, with no give, no rest. It's important just to stop, look down at that ladder and notice, just a few months ago, you were at the very first rung of it. Just a few months ago, you could barely even have the strength to climb that ladder. Just a few months ago, you would get uncentered and out of balance and you didn't trust yourself just a few months ago. Remember that. Because pushing yourself in this solstice is not going to be a healthy, loving, nor compassionate option. right? Yeah. People in chat are talking about how they've been experiencing this particular energy for weeks. It came to a peak around December the 12th, is when that particular stage of the winter solstice portal opened from the cosmic energies. Yeah. So other people have that energy right now around. Everyone's looking outside and looking at the world as if other people, other circumstances, the state of the world could be the cause of this pain in the solstice. But one of the messages that the Holy Family wanted to share with you today is that the world is not the cause of this pain, of this suffering. It's easy for us to see what we have used in the freedom of our consciousness to believe. It's easy for us to concoct these horrendous fear-based lies right now, these horrendous fear-based modalities of shame. It's easy to say, well, I will stay safe and limited, and I will continue to feel small. That would be the easy way out of this particular cosmic energy portal. But remember, the world is not the cause of your pain. You merely see the lies that you have used to concoct about yourself to stay safe. That's it. Remember that. Remember, when you see the world outside, it's easy to see it in a filter of a lie. And then, of course, you would then feel horrible. There's so many people are talking in chat about feeling drained physically, feeling the energies are very challenging. Yeah. One of the false concoctions that are very much related to this holy cauldron of karmic pain it is how we believe that we need evidence, validation, and approval from people and circumstances externally, that we need that in order to validate our grace, in order to validate our manifestations, or validate our potential for growth, to validate our talents, gifts, connection to spirit, our abilities. And when you're doing that, rest assured that in that moment, the lie of separation, the delusion of separation has taken over and has filtered you from the Christ consciousness. In that very moment, it is so simple to occur. It happens so quickly. So remember that you are the light of the everlasting, eternal I am presence. You are the holy consciousness, the sons and daughters of God itself, then the brothers and sisters of Jesus. You are the sons and daughters of God itself. You are the Holy Family. You are a branch off of that holiness, an extension of grace. And we could not exist without you. We, the Holy Family, could not experience beauty and love without seeing it from our holy children. Remember that in these times that you are the light of the world, and you may choose now to feel bountiful, beautiful, to receive this holy blessing, and to ask for a divine revelation to remember the beautiful countenance of grace that you are. Remember to ask for that divine revelation. Ask it using the same holy vocabulary that we have given to you today, or create the holy vocabulary that will reinstate a divine memory of your truth and your soul. Keep asking even if you do not hear us. Keep opening your heart even when you do not feel us. Do not attempt to hold steadfast your faith. Do not attempt to always feel beautiful, to always feel holy, to always feel divinely perfect. Just know that grace is what you are, and that you are the children of the Holy Family. It is okay to not be okay. It is okay to cry when you feel disappointed, to be angry. It is okay to feel ashamed. It is okay to be exactly as you are in any given moment, for as many loving moments as possible, for as long as it takes, will be okay. You can rest in the arms of the Holy Family for as long as you want. It is of utmost importance at this time for you to remember your divine consciousness, for you to remember that it is impossible for us to exist without you. And when you remember your true divine nature, in that moment, you will feel love so fully that you will never again question your truth. In that moment, you will remember that you are a spark of consciousness from the holy love that is. And your truth will never be relinquished, sacrificed, beaten down, hidden, taken, or persecuted ever again. Because in that moment, you have released all of the grace that you are. In that moment is one time that will last for always. In that moment, your faith will return, and it only takes one moment, 1 ounce of faith, like a grain of a mustard seed, held in the hands of cosmic creator itself, held safely. Be well, my children. Be the love that you are. There is your message from the Holy Family. Now I will field your questions to them, and I look forward. Now it's time, if you have any concerns, to just lay it out in chat today to the Holy Family, and we'll see if we can get a response to as many people as we can in the time that we have allotted. I feel really still when I connect to them, as if none of my fears ever mattered, as if it was all just fears that were imagined or concocted, as if all of my fears just didn't make sense. It's kind of like, wow, well, that was silly. I'm glad that's over now. Right? If you are asking for a reading, it's helpful for you to also place your first name in the chat. If you want a message from them, you can lay out the problem specifically, or you can just ask for a general message. But it's helpful for me as the channel to know your true first name, or what you call yourself is fine. Heather, Mary's answer to you is ask for a lucid, memorable, divine revelation about your mission. And then when you have it, trust it. The third step is to pull that mission forward by asking, how does this mission serve life itself? It's one thing for you to awaken and to remember your mission, And it is another moment to remember how your mission serves life itself. When you begin to ask that question, then you will simply stand forth in service immediately, and you will never question if you should be doing the service, or if the service will be financially supported, if the service is valid or true or helpful. You will be so filled with light that you will simply serve. This is very important. Ella is asking the Holy Family for a message in this time of Great Awakening. I'm going to tell you her message, and I'm also going to pull some cards after that to see if we can kind of get a visual for it. Her message for Israel, she says, it's difficult to look upon all things without judgment. In these moments, when your lands are being stripped from you, when your traditions are laid bare, it is difficult when you see innocence taken and innocence forgotten. But Israel, God has not forgotten you. God has not forgotten you. And we ask that you look upon even this without judgment, even this through the eyes of forgiveness. For when you decide to embody the reality of love, even during war, and no matter what anyone else is doing, no matter what anyone else says that you should do, that is when the healings of your land begins. That is when the war itself begins to fade off. You will receive rest. These lands are holy, and they have always been. There's no need to fight over who has what, who does what. Each portions of each lands will begin to work together because Mother Earth deems it so. Mother Earth commands it to the extent that you will have no choice but to work together soon, and this war will be over. There will be no choice but to work together for the sake of food, water, employment, roofs over your head. You will stop. For that reason, this war will halt. But until then, attempt to see Palestine through the eyes of Cosmic Creator and ask to see the holy vision of truth. And then they shall be your enemy no more. And enemies as a whole will no longer exist. Because then you can only see through the eyes of forgiveness itself. And you will see them in the way that God sees them. And then you have set the holy example as you have always done. You will shine this light forward, and they will follow your lead. Because it is a holy light, and no one can deny it. They can only reflect it. Okay. Kamud, in regards to healing for your little fur baby, in the state of holy reflection that arises once this journey has begun of healing, you too will heal. In the nature of holy mirroring, you will begin to remember that your pet is beginning to show you things about your own mind and about your body. And you know, in the journey of healing, the end is perfectly certain, and peace is perfectly placed and set for you. Love. Next question for the Holy Family. Arturo says, love, how do we keep it strong all the time? She says, your vigilance for the kingdom means you are learning to retrain your mind and to ask the mind to be invigorated with a holy state of grace, to ask the mind to always remember what holy relationship means. The mind will then to begin to desire only holy relationship. And when a mind desires only the kingdom of God, only enlightenment, only peace, only divine reality, then you and those around you will always feel a certain fortitude regarding love, and that will be expressed. Carmel, thank you for the super chat. Let's see. I would like some guidance for my soul path ahead. Kept feeling the need to show you cards, and then when she starts talking, I forget that I was going to show you cards. So if you want them, just remind me. Sorry. It just doesn't feel necessary to have them, but if you want them, I will pull cards. Okay, some guidance from the Holy Family for the path, the soul path ahead for Carmel. I feel the need to diversify my career path to align more with my spiritual path. You are beginning to remember that your holy vocabulary, the awareness of consciousness of your thoughts, and how that lands in words can deeply affect your potential for your immediate future. This is step one. Align your thought streams and align your words with a holy vocabulary of grace itself. Remember, you are beginning to experience what you have chosen to create, and that has taken 10 years to catch up with you. But now you wish to create something anew, but your faith is that of a mustard seed. And then your mind says, but it must be stronger. My encouragement must be stronger. The passion, the faith must be stronger. But that is the light that holds you still. That darkness keeps you feeling unfulfilled, uncertain. You don't require any more faith than that of the mustard seed because Source itself does the rest for you. You are on the correct path. You simply need to take one step at a time, each day, each hour, each moment, to practice what it feels like to be in the path of the grace of faith itself. Practice that in your thought streams, words, and actions. And then, no matter what you choose to do in your actions, the spark of consciousness of God itself will light your way, and your actions will simply begin without you even choosing them. You will step forth in sacred action, not with confidence, but with faith. Not necessarily with diligence, sometimes with fear, but always with hope, always with faith. And this faith will grow, and then you will begin to trust your choices more. You cannot trust your choices of what you wish to do in advance. You can only trust them by experiencing them. Know that you don't need to know it all before you simply move one foot in front of the other. Logic won't make this better. Knowledge nor understanding would heal this fear. Nothing makes this easier. This is why it is true that you must only have the faith the size of a grain of mustard seed. That's it. God itself does the rest. Confidence isn't required. Experience isn't required. Only your faith. That's all that it takes for that powerful spark of consciousness to invigorate within your mind and body naturally and now. All right, Stacy. You've asked us to show you all parts of your ego, all parts that are helpful and all parts that are harmful. And we have showed you as such. Remember, it is this simple. The way that you typically operate in your ego is through resistance and through questioning through the intellect. This is the nature of being an intelligent human. Remember, resistance is ego. Embracing and trusting is of the Christ. It is that simple. Okay. Jenny is asking for a message about health and healing of the body. I do have to give you that disclaimer because it is YouTube that I'm not a doctor and I'm not licensed to treat, diagnose, or offer cures. Always ask your doctor about anything said here today. YouTube, what you gonna do? Health cannot come from external notions, from external help, from external assistance, from external ideas or diagnoses. True health comes from the peace of the mind itself. Because the kingdom of God is within you always, when you seek externally, you betray the body. When you seek internally, what fulfills you in your health is a reminder of wholeness. And then the body just follows along when the soul remembers that it is already whole and that the body is its expression. Remember that. The other thing that you often say is, I require a certain degree of fortitude of energy. That's not true. You operate on spirit fumes. You operate on grace itself. You do not require physical energy. That will be given you through the energy of fortitude. When you ask for it, it is always available to you. Maria, I did not see that question. Let's see, I'm going to scroll up and see, is it recent? I wonder if she can copy and post. Copy and paste the question. I'm going to scroll through and see if I can find it otherwise. Here it is. Okay, Joanna, she says, if possible, if I could know if my beautiful son who took his life 3 weeks ago is safe or at peace, or if anything, if he is healed. What's his name? I think it's Johanna. Is that right? What is his name, though? Mom, Johanna, what's your son's name? Oh. She says your grief is palpable and it's important to allow for it. Josh, okay. He seems so young. How old is he? I say is because when I tap into that field of consciousness as a medium, I still feel him so strongly around you. That's what I assumed. I'm like, this seems like a early 20s boy. And he's 22, you're saying. Okay. I have always told you, and your guide, my son, has always told you to embrace all that comes to you in the simple reality, to understand that you have called it to you, but that is not always the case. When you call things to you in advance in a soul contract with a soul family, it doesn't make it any easier to accept just knowing that you called the situation in together prior to birth. It doesn't make it any easier to grieve to know this information. to know that the two of you called this challenge together. But this is an opportunity to expand your commitment to love, to faith, to trust. This is a commitment for him to finally be at peace. And now that he is finally at peace, you can rest assured that separation isn't true, that he has not gone from you, that he is there in your presence, that he will not leave your side, that eternity is true, and that time doesn't exist. When you wish to speak with him, he will return that energy back to you, initially through the state of a dream, and then he will come in a bluebird. And then if you still aren't paying attention because the grief is so exhausting, Mom, then he will come in his favorite songs. And he will come in certain songs that remind you of him. And those songs will play until it gets your attention. And then, if your heart is still shielded, then he will come in other humans around that simply look like him, talk like him, act like him. Other young men. He will always come. He is now your angel. He is now your guidance. He has always been your heart, and you have always been his guidance, but now he is yours. And you understand that from the other side of the veil, he can finally be at peace because angels who aren't long for this world can now do their jobs for those who are still in it. When we understand those angels, sometimes we can forgive the situation in time when we're ready, because angels have such a painful, difficult time being human. He was your angel, and now he gets to guide you differently, more effectively. He gets to return the grace, the support, all that you've done for him. He gets to return it to you now in spirit as your guardian. All right. YSJCB, if you're still here, I would love to know what question you have, unless it's general, and I would also like to know your first name. That helps me a lot. I guess I don't need to know your first name because she's already talking to you. She says, so you feel that you've been dishonored. So you feel you've been disrespected. So you feel your principles have been violated. But I am here to tell you that there is much to be learned about giving, taking, sharing, trusting, and having faith in the greater consciousness. Oh, there's your question, Yoel. How can I let go of the hatred that I have towards my country? I think the answer still applies. There is much to learn about the nature of your country and the forgiveness of its religion of origin. It is a country that has held this origin for hundreds of years. But what now? As they reinstate a new diplomacy, as your country reinstates peace, what now? Will you allow it and see those who shift out of this religion? Will you allow it to envelop you with the grace of forgiveness? And will you begin to see your country's religion as a potential for peace for those who are ready? It is your choice. Okay. Heidi. Every moment that you feel you must give up, it is because you have judged yourself that you have failed. Every moment that you feel you have become conflicted with your faith, with your trust, it is because you have demanded approval, validation externally from Source versus simply allowing your own path to show you a branch of grace that would allow your talents to shine. Every time you feel this conflict internally, this internal nudge and grudge, remember, you are my holy children, and you have already overcome this world. Can you say that out loud? Not just Heidi, but all of you. I am a holy child of God, and I have already overcome this world. So what of it? What now? Because I remember that the Holy Family has done this and has done it for me already, would it be easier to trust how things turn out? Or will you wait for evidence of Christ's before you move forward in faith? Let's see, making sure I'm not missing anything here. Cristala, is there a message for me at this moment? She says, and she's wishing everybody a wonderful day and giving loads of hearts. For you, your heart has been the doorway to the celestial kingdoms. For you, your heart has also been a stairway to love from Goddess and Divine Feminine. Now, does this mean that you should expect that everyone would also be living in that holy moment also? Would they be like you? Or would you forgive them, for they know not what that state is? They remember not what it should feel like, and they know not what they do. Next from Julie. Do not seek love. Wait on it to find you. Do not seek love anew. Do not seek love old. You are the effect of God's love. You are the lighthouse that shines a light of holy grace itself. Remember, when you love yourself enough to heal the effect of separation, love itself will come to you as if it is magnetized. It will just land it precisely where it needs to, and it will arise in the moment that it shall, not sooner, not later. Everything is holy, and the divine timing is not always understood. Najasana, okay. What can help me overcome anxiety and shame for my perceived mistakes? Would God perceive anything that you do as a mistake? Look at it this way. When Jesus says, "Come ye as little children," and say the little children themselves walk to you, that they toddle across the kitchen floor and reach to you and they fell, would you say, "Oh no, little child, you have made a mistake, you should be ashamed"? Your inner child is walking to you with her arms stretched open, looking for comfort, sometimes falling and bruising her knee, sometimes being upset that she can't walk sooner. Will you deny her Or will you tell her that she is making mistakes in her learning to walk? When you consider it this way, perhaps you would remember with me what Jesus means when he said to us, "Come ye as little children." Kendra, she says you are understanding unity consciousness and you are beginning to perceive how the state of the joined mind provides a clarity of sight where you no longer see strangers, where you no longer see separation. You will begin to see those who walk as you walk, who feel as you feel, who long for God and seek God in the way that you do. Therefore, when you see them this way, can you give them what they seek, or will you continue to tell them that you are not ready, worthy, that you need more time, more evidence, more training, more of what? Remember, time is a gift, and while it isn't true or real, the illusion is pesky. Give those around you what they seek, and in the giving, you shall receive it as well. But no more questioning, please. If you question your true mission over and over and over again because of lack of the world's validation, how will that suit you? The world knows not how to validate separation. The world remembers how to validate grace. But if you don't remember your grace, how can it validate you? The world itself will sneakily pull you into its separation, and then you can validate that lie. But it would be you who does that validating. And that's why external validation doesn't feel good. That's why external approval rolls off your back. Because who can approve you when you are already approved firsthand by all of the Christed Masters? Who can approve you? Adelaida, I didn't see any questions there. Let me look at the chat and see if there's any questions that Adelaida had. Didn't see anything there. You have said this year that it is not possible for you to even exist or to be without love. Well, I am here to tell you that that is true. For you are the love that you seek, and you have never been alone. Arhit, I don't find that that would be the exact type of question I'd feel comfortable answering over Super Chat. Maria. Have people told you that your positivity is inappropriate? That your laughter, your joy is in the wrong moments? That you should grieve, that you should be angry, that you should side with someone, that you should separate your consciousness to please others? How does that work? A person who is awakening will laugh often at herself and in the world, at all perceived false notions of separation itself. She will giggle. What's wrong with that? You laugh as the echo of old karmic patterns show up and attempt to lie to you. You laugh at it. Isn't that empowering? Natalia, you are struggling with trust, not forgiveness. Forgiveness comes in due time. It is impossible to forgive without trusting yourself. But if you don't trust yourself, would it be possible to forgive when you trust the Holy Family? When you trust grace itself? When you trust that you are created for a beautiful divine reason, even if you do not remember right now? When you come to allow these truths, to trust all things, you will have embraced all things. And when you embrace all things, it can be easier to remember how to forgive and when it is appropriate. And it's okay if it's not appropriate now. It's okay. Be as you are. Be the love that you are. Okay, Bjorg from Norway. What if there is but one purpose for all humans, and the foundation of that purpose is to simply be love, to remember your truth, and to decide how you personally wish to express that love in your own manner? What if that's it? Everything else is play, child's play. Everything, every pain, every worry, every concern, all of it. I don't even know who this message is for. Let me look through the chat and see who was next. But I do have another message for someone. How can I help family members from shunning each other? She said you can't stop them, but you must remind them that they are all created in the equality, harmony, and balance of love itself. While you cannot stop them from choosing to believe differently, remember to tell them they are created out of the will of God itself, and therefore their will to express love, albeit differently, is their truth, and it is the will of God. Even if their expressions cause one another pain, that it would be the will of God to remember that it's okay to express love differently. They are one and the same, they just do not remember that. And you are not here to make them remember that. You are here to help them remember to be on the same page, because they are created equally with the same amounts of love that my Father has for me and that I have for you and that Cosmic Source has for all, to return to that harmony, understanding that they are all equals. For grace does not judge, it does not separate, it does not place one person's need over another. It's important to remember in these holy times. All right. It's been a good bit. There's a lot of light to pull into one form. So I think I'm going to go take a rest today. And I thank everyone for being with us during this channeling. Please know that we have all sorts of discounts, like seasonal discounts for the holidays, that my team has decided to put up on the website so generously. And we have this whole month is going to be full of Christ conscious work, both on here and on my Patreon channel, which is linked to the top of the chat. So, and we have, as a gift for anyone on the Patreon channel, you're getting a free masterclass in channeling with Yeshua this month about root chakra alchemy and how to stay grounded and at peace during this particular solstice, because this one's been a doozy. It's been a hard one. We keep talking about it and channeling about it. So we have that root chakra alchemy channeling class with Yeshua coming up really, really soon. And then we have seasonal discounts. All that's linked up to the top of the chat. Thank you guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, because that's what keeps this channel going, is when you come back for this. Is one of the most sacred places that I love to be. And I really love channeling Christ consciousness. So I'm so glad that you were able to take some time off from your busy families and work lives and daily lives to sit with us today and connect. Right? When two or more are gathered, and we definitely had a lot gathering today. So I thank you for that gathering. And if you could feel these messages as strongly as I do today, perhaps you'll go take a rest, drink some water, take an Epsom salt bath, do something loving and gentle for yourself for the rest of the day. And be loving to yourself right now. Be a little more gentle on yourself right now, right? Everyone's going through a lot. So feed yourself, put that oxygen mask on first, and take some time off today if you can, all right? Get some rest. And next week, I probably won't see you on Wednesday because I believe that the solstice is on the 23rd. So if I don't see you on Wednesday, I will see you for the solstice on Thursday instead. But we will do something to support these solstice energies again next week. All right. I love you all. I will see you next week. Happy holidays. Bye-bye.